everybody? I'm SJM. Welcome back to Opolis Incorporated. Today we will look to get to the Nether and also finish the power quest. Yes, so villagers and power quest. So let's take a look off camera. I did a lot of grinding. It was not too bad until I got to the it was the cartographer one and the wool one, which were the most painful, and I'll just show you why here. I guess we'd better go back and take a look at the overworld here. So villagers 3. So I'm not sure which is going to be the best there. I chose the loom, the wool one, because I had the sheep set up, right? And had them all set up, and then came back from an exploration. I went out running around, and this good boy right here had eliminated the entire pack. So I had, as many sheep as I have now again, about that many, all fall victim to this lovely wild boy that I later tamed so that he wouldn't do it again. And now he just sits here like the good boy that he is and always has been. Wasn't his fault, it was my fault. Let's pass this night by so that we can explore in peace. Obviously the first one I chose was the farmer. We just have a composter down there. Make sure you put a piece of carpet on top of it so that he doesn't fall in there and he looks all weird. But this is generally, with the easy villagers, you can cycle the trades until you hit ones that you wanted. So I didn't want to use any of my wheat because I was using that to mate my animals. So I just stopped when I got to potatoes, which I had the most of, and beetroots, which I was getting quite a bit of at the time. For the first trade, got a little bit lucky that I got pumpkins in the first unlock because I had already a ton of pumpkins growing, so that was pretty easy. Then the third round we got lucky again because it was asking for sugarcane. Lucky and unlucky because I was using sugarcane for paper for the other villagers, but we'll see later. And then I had, from my exploration, I had bamboo. So that was, I didn't have it planted down, but that was while I was working on the other villagers. I just let a bunch of bamboo grow. And this is the villager receipt too. I ended up, because I did it so efficiently, I ended up with only 36 of the receipts there. Well, 37 because I used one of each of them to make the basic trading license here so far. Then I chose the cartographer, thinking that I would get a map, but then no, that doesn't make sense. You can't buy things from them, you can only sell to them. So a little bit of a mistake there. I guess we could look in here for the cartographer one is probably the butcher. So if you put the smoker down, it's probably going to be your best bet there, because the blaster is probably going to ask you for some more iron and such, and that would be definitely no bueno, because iron is one of my lowest resources right now, because as much mining as I have done, I haven't done a lot in the higher Y levels, so maybe that's why. But anyways, we'll go over these trades here. So it was mostly paper here, and got into quite a bit of trouble in the mid tiers here because there was compasses and clocks. I don't have a lot of gold. This is the most of the gold that I have to my name, so I didn't want to spend any gold on clocks, so I ended up biting the bullet and making 6 compasses or 7 compasses total. 3 I used to get past stage 2, and then I used a bunch more, or 3 or 4 more compasses to get past stage 4 with the empty maps. And then got lucky with the white banners at the end because I was already doing wool, so white banners were super easy, and finished off the receipt ones with 39. The wool ones, only cycle through these chipped versions, which was super horrible. So for my first one, I cycled through until I got white and green because I knew I could do green wool with the shearing leaves and that way, but that got real painful and just super grindy, shearing tons of leaves all the time, and I wasn't getting my saplings back when you do that as well. So after that, that's why you see I got the colored sheeps over there. So I got 2 pink trades at tier 2. Then I did some black ones because I had some ink sacs from wandering around. And then I got more pink on tier 4, which was super lucky. And then tier 5 is the basic trading bucks to get our nether passport fragments. Librarians, again, paper, and paper. So this one is 8 paper instead of 9 paper plus leather. So that's a no-brainer, just straight paper there. Obviously, we can't do enchanting tables. That would be super wasteful on your diamonds. So we did bookshelves, book and quills. I already had ink sacs, so just 1 ink sac, 1 leather, and 1 book. And then this, I have no idea what a written book is. Like, it's not even in JEI. I did try making a book with a book and quill, like writing something in it. But that, I didn't title it, but it ended up just trading back at this stage here. And then bells, obviously, those are not craftable, and I haven't even seen any in all of the villages that I have visited out there. Maybe they were there, but I just didn't, recognize them. So ended up doing just a bunch of book and quills to get him to the final level. And then over here I did a cleric because I did find a church in one of my villages for the brewing stand. Otherwise it was an AE2 charger, which isn't too bad in itself because you can buy it from the catalog. Just takes basic storage bucks. But I had the brewing stand already, and the beginning trades are really generous. Second tier trades weren't too bad. I had some spider eyes, so it wasn't super harsh on my redstone. Then glass bottles was super lucky because those are super easy. And then the tier 4s were ender pearl fragments, which were super easy. And they were all slightly discounted by the time we got down to the bottom tier anyway, which all have expired now because I was grinding out wool for so long. This one by far took the absolute longest. We'll need some gold here because we're gonna be doing some piglin bartering, so throw some in there, and I guess I'm gonna have to re-steal one of my hoppers here. Now with the solidifier, there's this one side that has these arrows pointing in towards it. If you take a tank and you have water in it, so I've got almost 10 buckets of water in it, we can see the speed that it's processing there. If you put the water down on the side with that thing, it speeds up the solidifier just incredibly. So the only downside is keeping this full is almost a full-time job if you wanted to keep it full. But if you just need to get some ingots quickly or solidifying done quickly, then we can use that trick. Just would have to place things a little bit differently if I wanted to access my chest at the same time. All right, so onward. So we got all of these villager receipts, got our basic trading license. Now we need the basic trading bucks, and that is done. Just the uses on here. You're just selling back those receipts, right? 6 of any other receipt gets you 2 of the dollary dues. So we can pop on in here, throw all these in. Oh, I need 14 times 5, so that's 70. Oh, I forgot about okay, so there is a mechanic, And I think they added it in the game updated just today, September 19th. So in the setting up, they added in this check quest here, which tells you about the mechanic, which I learned about after, and I should have remembered now. But as you're selling things in the market, the more you need more items to get the same amount of dollars back. So the more you sell to them, the less they pay per unit. So you have to be patient to get the most of your work. So I really only should have done like 2 or 3 trades of all of the different types, and I would have been able to get more money out of it. But unfortunately, I totally forgot about it. But that's fine. We can always do some more grinding on the villager receipts to get our basic trading bucks. So we can access the easy villager stations in here. I guess I didn't even realize you can buy the villagers as well out of there. But we are looking to get the fragments from these tier 5 villagers with these bucks for right now. Unless if you really wanted to, we need 15 now because the discounts have all worn off. I wonder if it's almost worth it to get converters. I've got a brewing stand, so I could access, yes, I guess that's going to be the best way, is use some of these trading bucks, get a converter. I got 2 golden apples, so I'd be able to do 2 of them. That's probably not worth at the end of the day. If I had more golden apples, maybe that's more worth. We are going to need 1 of each of these. There was 1 on sale. There was 1 on sale. And yes, so we need 29 more trading bucks before we can do that. But that should get us access to the Nether. Now I'm not sure how that works. Is it explained down here? Let's go! The above message was written by an intern, and we can't figure out how to delete it. Opolis Inc. does not condone use of such unprofessional language. So I think we still do have to get obsidian and build a proper thing. I just don't know that, once you light it, maybe it doesn't let you through unless you have the license. I remember from other Opolis packs, he gated travel to the Nether by having a certain item in your inventory, so that's probably how it works. We just won't be able to test it today because the rest of the episode we may as well dedicate to getting through the power stage. So let's pop down here to the first power. We got the power ticket before so that we got our first basic power bucks. And now we're going to have to get either the windmill or the solar panel. I am a windmill guy, so that's almost always what I go for. I'm going to leave these here for now, just get them out of my inventory. One of those. And the next quest is for the cables. And now we don't have to mess around with this heat generator anymore, so we can get rid of that. And I'll just lay all this cable down. One of the best things... Oh, you did this the wrong way. Make sure we're facing that way. Now it's hooked up. And these cables store power in them, so they kind of act like a battery in themselves. So that's why I laid all of them down, just to store a little bit more power. The next quest is asking for the crusher, so we're going to need one of these steel casings. So we're going to need 8 of the advanced processing bucks. I think I forgot to do this. Yes, I did. It shouldn't be a big problem because I did make a big batch of bronze. Before I could do some more steel, but I've got lots of bronze right now because we have so much copper and tin. Advanced processing. There we go. Throw those guys back. We're going to need 2 buckets of lava. I did not mean to split them, but such is. And we also need 2 basic control circuits and 2 iron, 4 redstone. So we're going to need more than 4 redstone, but that's fine. Oh, enrichment chamber. That's, yeah, definitely need the enrichment chamber for the one after the crusher. So let's bring up Wesley here. Oh, right. Okay, so the only difference between the two are the lava buckets or iron. Okay. Basic control circuits. So we'll need redstone, 20 plus osmium. All right, let's do the enrichment chamber first, because I do have 8 more for another steel casing, which works out perfectly, actually. That's a little bit of luck for me, working for me. I'm going to need 4 of those in there. We'll get the enrichment chamber first. Two osmium, so that'll work. And then after that, we'll get 2 pieces of iron so that we can make the enrichment chamber. And what the enrichment chamber does, if you're not aware, will allow us to really, instead of 1 piece of redstone dust giving us 10 millibuckets of the secondary infusion element over here, it will enrich it, and each of these enriched redstones then gives us 80 millibuckets instead of 10. So we're just get a lot more out of it, and it's really going to matter when we start using our gold here in a minute, because I've only got 30 pieces of gold to my name. So once again, we're going to need 2 of those for right now. Actually, will I need, let's see. I think I mathed this out correctly. Oh yeah, I won't need any more iron there. We'll just do a bunch of basic control circuits. Guess I didn't need to wait for the 3rd one. Crusher obtained. Crusher down. We're going to need to crush some of our gold. Oh, we're going to need to crush down some coal as well. Because as we work our way into the power mod, we are gated on getting the dielectric paste, because dielectric paste is made in the enrichment chamber using gold, which is why I knew I needed the gold. But Now put this gold into the enrichment chamber. I forgot. I guess I should have just tested an ingot, but yeah, the recipe for dielectric paste is gold infused into coal dust. Yeah, gold does not work straight up. We do have to crush it to get any out of it. Oh. Crushing that for right now, but that's fine. Put the gold in there. And then now we can process this to start getting some dielectric paste. And the last step, they want us to make a starter battery for some reason. So while I finish processing up the dielectric paste needed to get there, I'll put it on a quick pause so we don't stretch this one out too long just waiting for things to process. Alright, taking a look at the quest line there. I know we're going to need lots of this dielectric paste so we can use that up later, but for right now, you should be good to go. In the quest line, I just popped in and looked at the dielectric rod. Made in he casting table. So a small little, tiny little spelling mistake. They got the spacing a little bit mixed up there, but normally these are made in a crafting configuration with dielectric paste, but in this pack it's been changed over. So we'll need a rod mold and then 50 millibuckets of dielectric molten, and then we need advanced mining bucks, which shouldn't be a problem. We've got them not in abundance here, but we've got some. And then if we look at the uses on those, each one gives us 50, so we can just make one for now. That's going to be fine. One in there, rod mold there. Well, that works. We can move straight onto the starter battery because it doesn't require any rods at all. So we just need these basic capacitors, which take 4 iron, redstone dust, 2 dielectric paste, and then the 4 we can use to make the starter battery. And then this should be finished up here now. Oh, it went down here. That's where it went. And the sound of satisfaction finishing off the first power quest line there. So that leads us into the Power proper quest line, which we'll tackle in a later episode, getting, up towards nuclear power. But first stop, we're going to need some energizing orbs. We're going to need blaze rods, which, yeah, we're going to have to get those on our trip to the Nether, which we'll do in the next episode after I grind out the trading licenses that we need. And yeah, that's it. I guess I forgot about the other things I did off camera because we needed the chipped wools. We did make the loom table. Super easy recipe here. But I think I was watching Mr. Porkerson on his playthrough, and apparently you don't need the separate tables. So normally to make the wooden things, actually let's close this. How did you get in from up here? Oh my goodness. Alright, I guess rip librarian. You don't seal off everything perfectly, they'll come up and get you. Yeah, anyways, I was going on. Normally for the chipped you would need a different table for each of the different kinds of resources that you want to make look fancy. So if you wanted to make plant things look fancy, you'd need to make Alright, I've had enough of this. But anyways, you should get the idea there already, right? So if we wanted to make wood things, we'd need the carpenter's table. If we wanted to make different rock-looking things or clay things, that would be the mason table. Alchemy bench, tinkering table, so on and so forth, right? But in this pack, I guess the configs are alterable, where you can just now put anything that you want in there. I was meant to grab some stone while I was here. Stone? Yes, stone. Some kind of stone. Blue-colored stone should work. I haven't tested it personally, but won't go in there. But yeah, I could put stone in there, anything, and we could get nifty looking blocks that way if we wanted to, right? All of these different chipped things, 90 pages worth. I guess 68 pages in a more reasonable size, but as you can tell, there is just tons and tons of options in there. So you can pick the cheapest table. The loom is one if you've got the wool for it. The other ones aren't too expensive because you can just buy the iron axe in there, so on and so forth for the other tables. And then the last thing I did was I upgraded some of my functional drawers here. I think I'm down to Y level -50 there, so I've got like another 14 levels to go down, but I've just kind of stopped doing it. So normally each drawer has a capacity of 2,000. I think it's 2048 as a proper number. But if we put one of these copper upgrades in there, the storage gets increased by 8. So this can now hold 16,500 items. So the next time when I go to move this to a new chunk, I might even want to get a second. I think I can put a second copper upgrade in there, but the recipe for these are super cheap. You just need a drawer, a couple of chests, and a bunch of copper, which are, real easy, or is really plentiful, right, with the copper. And then, but to go up to the next level, to, double that storage on top of it, to go up to 33K, you would need a lot of gold for those ones, and then so on and so forth. There is a diamond tier and a netherite tier as well, which you need the smithing template upgrade for. But yeah, we're pretty much full on stuff. And then my basic one is all emptied out, so I think the trick now is to figure out a way to start filtering some of this stuff out and get that sent to a garbage can so that we don't have all of this colored stone backing up on us. And then eventually, I guess we could do void upgrades as well. Which takes a bunch of obsidian, which we'll be going for next anyways. So to get the obsidian, we need the diamond pickaxe, which I think is just advanced mining dollars. Yes, 6 advanced mining dollars to get a diamond pickaxe. So we've got vein mining, so we just have to find, well, I could probably take this guy and 64 buckets worth of obsidian worth right there. So easy does it there. Anyways, that will wrap up this episode there. I hope you all enjoyed it. And yeah, I appreciate you for checking it out. We will see you in the next one. See ya.